This is iPhone 13. To tell you more, here's Randy.
Welcome back to the Telosive Tech Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we're talking iPad. iPad is a truly groundbreaking product that has been known to 5G. We got 5G on the iPad Mini 6! Woo! I've never cared so much. Holy crap, you guys. What a stacked event.
Oh,
That's not what I was going to say.
What were you going to say, Nick?
What a disappointment.
Get him off.
A disappointment.
The Randy and Drew show. We're talking.
Okay, bye, guys.
We're talking just about. We're going to do an entire show based on
iPad.
Apple Watch Series 7 called I Know What Color Randy's Gonna Get.
The amount of tweets I was getting in my inbox at me, it's
Like 4?
It is alarming. 7. It is alarming.
Just kidding.
How many people just immediately like, oh, that's the Randy edition.
We just had our 11 Pro moment for the Apple Watch.
Yeah.
It is perfect. It is perfect Randy Green.
It is.
They might as well call it that. It's beautiful.
Yeah, but now, okay. I don't want to get ahead of myself. We'll go through the motions. There is a correlation between the new Apple Watch and what we're going to do with iPhone, but we will get there. Let's first build the suspense the way they did with us, and let's talk about iPad.
What was so disappointing?
Nothing about the iPad event. I was really excited that my favorite iPad now has True Tone. Like, what? No, actually, I had no idea that iPad didn't have True Tone until they specifically said.
That's what I was thinking.
It's like, wait, it didn't have True Tone?
What?
What?
Where was True Tone?
What do you mean?
Why didn't it?
Everything's had True Tone for, like, years, right? Like, what's going on here? Oh, well.
No, but Center Stage.
Dude,
oh my God.
Center Stage, woohoo!
Center Stage is on everything. I would like to point out, I regret not bringing this up in the video. The budget iPad has a higher megapixel front camera than rear.
Ouch.
Which makes sense. It probably should.
Ouch.
Which makes sense.
That camera on an iPad, you're probably using more than the rear. And this is the first time we're seeing the iPad with a higher megapixel on the front than the back. It's probably a better overall camera. It's an ultra wide. The Center Stage feature was so much fun when I had it, and now the fact that I don't and a $300 iPad does, little tear.
Well,
just a little
in
one?
my heart.
Fear not, though, Drew, because I am heeding your advice a few episodes ago. I am selling this hunky piece of because let me tell you something. My biggest fear was the laminated display, and iPad Mini has that sucker. Woo.
It does.
Woo.
Yes, it does.
And
it's got stereo speakers, which was crucial. A15 and Center Stage. Holy crap.
And Center Stage, totally.
And
so
an
on a
iPad
mini
can
iPad.
truly be an iPad.
Literally,
and nothing else.
I've been asking for this iPad since the 2018 iPad Pro came out. Like, the iPad Mini was my first Apple device. I know lots of people don't know that. And,
that
like,
blows
iPad
my mind.
Mini was my favorite. You know, it was 2012. Like, that was like, my favorite Apple device for a long time, even after it was kind of old and outdated. Just, it was so compact. Like, I could palm it very easily.
Love it.
It was a great size. But Apple just never touched it. I remember with the iPad Mini 3... I was considering getting the iPad Mini 3, but I ended up not getting the Mini 3 because it got like, I don't even know if it got a processor bump. I can't remember what year that was. And no, it literally just got Touch ID. The Mini 3 literally just got Touch ID.
Right.
And the
no
iPad Air 2 got the CPU bump. And so I ended up getting an iPad Air 2 instead of a Mini 3. But I wanted the Mini 3 because that's like, I love that size of device. It was great. And so I lost it, like literally lost it. I'm so happy. A little emotional at the moment, but
That's wonderful.
we'll survive. I've already pre-ordered one. We're all set up getting one in. I am so excited about this iPad
What color
mini.
did you get?
Yeah, so that was kind of a
The
snap
real
decision,
questions.
and I might change it around. I might put another pre-order in for different color if another one strikes my fancy. But the decision was between the new, what is it called? Sky or Star Blue?
They're all new colors.
Yeah,
Starlight.
Starlight.
Starlight or something
Yeah,
like that?
Starlight. It's like this
Starbright,
gold,
first
silvery
star I
kind of
see
look.
tonight.
There you go. I'm going to wish for it.
They kept space gray, actually.
They
on that
did.
one.
It was either between Starlight or Space Gray. So I ended up going with Starlight with an LTE configuration. I'm specifically asking
you're
for
getting
no
5G.
I specifically in the custom order section, I typed in no 5G, please. So I'm pretty sure Tim Apple will hook me up there.
Did you engrave it for ad engraving?
No
Please, no
5G.
5G.
I might. Yeah, so that's the only device from this whole event that I'm like legitimately excited about, and like
It's so cute.
it's perfect.
It's beautiful.
literally perfect. I love it. It's perfect.
And
It's
cute.
gorgeous. Do you like the volume button placement?
I do. Honestly,
It makes
I do.
sense.
It makes a ton of sense, and I don't
Yeah.
mess with the volumes too much on my iPad to begin with. Like 9
Yeah.
times out of 10, if I'm like watching something and I want it louder, I'm going to use Control Center and use the slider.
Right,
Because like
right.
I'm touching the screen already, and it just feels a little bit easier than going up and
Of
finding
course.
where the buttons are. And B, you
Yes.
get the more precise control of how much volume it is. So I'm totally fine with it. Like, yeah, I mean, it's going to take a minute to get used to, but I think it's
Actually,
fine. Go
I
ahead.
realized that I only use the volume rocker through the control center. I don't actually really use the hard button anyway.
No button at all, maybe. Maybe they're working on that. I think in landscape mode, the volume placement makes a ton of sense. I'm wondering how it works if you're in portrait. Does left turn it up or does right turn it up?
Left turns it
What's
down.
your guess? Okay.
Left-
Why?
Because
Explain your answer.
because if you do it right now on your iPad right now in the landscape mode, left goes down.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm going to stick with Randy.
Left goes up.
No, left
for
goes
me.
up. Well, hold on. Wait, yeah, left goes up, Randy. What are you talking about?
What did I say?
You said left goes down.
That's not what I meant.
Okay. So left will go.
What I meant to say was how the orientation is in,
Well, I think
in landscape for us now is continuity will roll over for portrait mode or portrait position. Portrait mode.
I
for
guess
iPad.
why that's confusing is because the up volume doesn't change on the iPad depending on the orientation. If you're in portrait, of course, left is the up one. If you're in landscape, it doesn't change, I believe, if you hold it the other way, which you have to take the cover off to do. So I don't know how that'll work, but
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll just be a slight learning curve, and most people do use these things in landscape, I'll be honest.
And probably most importantly, though, Drew, USB-C. Yay!
Of course.
I'm so
This
happy.
is instantly makes the iPad mini a better iPhone than any iPhone.
100% agree with that.
Type-C.
That's amazing.
It's part of the reason
I
why
had
I got the
weird
cellular
color choice.
version.
Yeah. I wish I could pair my watch to it because I would totally try to switch to the mini completely if I could.
This would be the non-foldable foldable.
Yeah.
Well, it does
Pretty
fold,
much.
but only once.
This also says a lot about. Think of the combos now people can make of like foldables $1,800, or you could buy a frickin' 13 mini with 512 gigs of storage for $1,000. Get an iPad mini with 64 gigs. You're still cheaper than a foldable, and you've got a mini ecosystem there. 8.3 inches, 5.4 inches, compact, fits in your pocket, but also a big display, split screen, all that jazz.
Yeah.
That's a butcher to foldable arguments, I would say, when you can buy iPads this good for $500.
Yeah.
Do you think the price hike was justified?
Yeah, I do, honestly. So walking into this, I even asked Randy and our friend, who shall remain nameless,
His name's Mike.
George. I don't know who George is. But.
Randy. Yeah, I was like, so what do you guys think it's going to be? Like as they were, I think they were wrapping up the iPad 9 or whatever the first one was. I was like, okay, how much is the mini going to be? And I was like, $399 or $499? I was thinking $499. They were like, oh no, $399.
I thought $399.
I was right, $499. I honestly am a little sad because that $329 price point has been around for like ages. The first iPad I got was $329, and
mini is $399.
Oh, it was $399. Okay. Anyway, it's more expensive now, and I still bought it.
Yes,
it exceeded my it exceeded my iPad mini budget by like $200 out of the store, but
wow.
Oh well, it's beautiful. I got the cellular, and it was $100 more expensive. So, oh well.
You mean you got the 5G?
I didn't get 5G. I am taking 5G. I'm gonna call Louis Rossman and see if we can take the 5G chip out.
Nick,
he'll take it down.
You did get the Starlight?
I did get Starlight. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you're thinking about changing it now to something else?
I'm open to suggestions, I guess. So the thing is, I've never seen Starlight in person, right? From the website, which we know is famously accurate on their color portrayals. Mini. Exactly. So I'm hoping it's a little bit closer to the 12 Mini's white, which was kind of almost gold. It was like really light champagne gold. And so if it's a little bit deeper than that, I love gold and I love white. Like those were my two favorite Apple ecosystem colors. So I love gold. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be okay with it color-wise. But the safe one is always the space gray. They don't break that one too frequently. But I already have a space gray iPad, so let's switch some stuff up.
There you go.
Also for sale, slightly dented, slightly bent, 3rd gen iPad Pro. Hit me up in the DMs because I gotta fund this somehow.
So did you think the mini was too expensive, Randy?
No.
Okay.
No.
It was just higher than you thought.
I thought the starting price was going to be for 64 gigs. I thought it was going to be $399.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Because of the price gap or the storage gap between 64 gigs and 256, I expected the 256 to be closer to like 650, so where it's at right now. But I was thinking there was going to be a 112 or a 128 config, and I thought that was going to be like the 550 range. But they are treating the iPad mini like an iPhone with that gap in the storage, and then the upsell. It's like they want you to, obviously 64 is too small, go up one.
Right. Yeah.
So they are approaching it like an iPhone, so I should have known better.
And they even gave it flash.
Oh my goodness. Even flash.
Which the Air does not have.
Oh yeah. Huh.
They gave it everything with the exception of Thunderbolt and ProMotion.
Yeah, we don't need Thunderbolt.
In Smart Connector, Face ID.
No. We're treating the product as an iPad, Drew. As an iPad. We are not talking about accessories. But if we want to talk about accessories,
the budget iPad gets one.
Thank God it takes the Gen 2. I am so happy for that.
That's part of the reason why I'm so happy with it. Like, I'm justifying the price bump a little bit just because I get to save $100 and not get a new Apple Pencil.
You get to do your thumbnails and read the chat, or at least when I stream, read the chat. Like, it does everything I need it to. And nothing more because this is an iPad.
Exactly.
It's honestly, I'm so excited about this because I've accepted iPad's life, what its purpose is. So that's why I'm excited for it. iPad Pro, 3rd gen, was my favorite iPad. Promising or believing in a future that we didn't get. But that seems to be the theme for even today. We saw a lot of things we thought we were going to get that didn't really happen. So, hey.
You're right.
Hey.
You're right. And I think the mini, you're right, fits that template of what iPadOS is comfortable being.
Right.
Like this covers all of the maximums of what iPadOS wants to be and not much more. So the fact that there's no keyboard accessory for it is perfectly fine and justified because it's so comfortable to hold. It's so small that this will be a perfect touch-dominant OS with the pencil, of course, snapping right alongside it. And medical students, I could see a ton of people buying. I remember talking about that years ago. Is long before the Mini 5 even came out, they were saying that we want a mini iPad with an Apple Pencil because we take notes and we put them in our lab coats and we move around with them all the time. But they were stuck with the first gen Apple Pencil all these years. And keep in mind, the Mini 5 was not announced on stage. So this was the first time.
Oh, wow.
No, it was a website refresh in March.
Right.
Wow.
Just threw up on the site one day with Tim Cook posting a meme on his Twitter account of him using a Mini with one hand and the pencil with the other. And he was like, hey, Mini has the pencil now. And everyone was like, oh, I thought they were going to kill off the Mini. Now the Mini is center stage.
Yeah.
Right up there in front of everybody. And it's like one of the first things that came out, and it knocked it out of the park, I think. So I was hearing what Gurman was saying and what other leakers were saying about how, there's going to be an iPad and Mac event later. So I was telling everyone leading into this, like, okay, probably don't expect the iPads. The Mini 6 is coming. It's awesome, but it's probably not today. First things first.
Dude,
iPads come out.
I'm no leaker, but man, did I call out. I was like, I think we're going to get iPad. We're going to get iPad.
At this point, I think just a podcast host or co-host can guess a lot better than a leaker.
Ouch.
A leaker can give info.
I was like,
because I think on our last podcast, I was like, I think we're gonna get iPad 9 and iPad Mini at this event.
You did? Yep.
And Gurman's like, no, we're not. And then I was like, oh, okay. So guys, sorry, we're not. Oh, we are. I should have trusted
Gurman.
myself.
Sorry, not sorry.
I should have believed in my lack of sources.
I should have believed in my intuition. Okay, so
this is the biggest thing for me is that I didn't think we would get an iPad Mini today. I was not mentally prepared for it. I thought this was just an iPhone and watch and maybe AirPod event. And now the Mini 6 is coming next week.
Yeah.
The 24th.
Like, how quickly that turned around. Yeah,
that's amazing.
It's like that we went from no, probably don't expect it to it's coming next week in like a few hours, which is always mind-blowing. I love this feeling.
It's like being surprised.
What's that like?
Ouch.
Being surprised. Here's my issue with iPad Mini. It's not an issue with the product. It's an issue with me.
Okay.
From the offset, and I'm being very transparent, this is the first event where I'm walking away not feeling like I actually need to buy anything.
Ooh. Get him off the show, Drew. Off the show, Randy.
Leave
the show. There's no reason for you to join this show, Randy. Leave.
We haven't even got to the iPhones yet.
And then when we do, then Drew's going to have a hot take and we're going to get him off the show. This is the Randy and Nick show. Hey, wait a minute. There's nothing... I'm like you in one sense, Drew, that there's nothing wrong with this iPad and it still works. And what's cheaper than selling this and getting an iPad Mini is not spending any more money at all, and this is already paid off. And I'm thinking from a price perspective, with the elephant in the room MacBook lineup coming soon, save money where I can altogether seems to be my takeaway from most things today. And iPad Mini, if I'm being very honest, is I don't know if I'm really in love with any of the colors. So
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I would say colors were probably the most wacky part of this whole event. All the colors were like,
what are you trying to be? I thought you were trying to be more like the iPad Air. That would have made more sense with those colors. Or the iMacs with the color. That would have made more sense.
I agree with the general premise of what you're saying, but I'm not impressed with the iPad Air colors either. I saw those in person, and I was like, oh, that's the blue one? Like, I couldn't tell until
I guess what I meant by that was that there's no continuity with any of it.
Oh, you're right. There's very little continuity. There's a space gray iPad Mini, but there is no space gray iPhone.
Right. Yeah.
It's a graphite or midnight. There is no black.
Right.
They got rid of black. I will defend though that the iPhone 13 fixed red.
Yes,
Maybe.
it did.
Maybe.
Red looks.
Maybe.
Red looks. Well, you're right, Nick.
Maybe.
I shouldn't get ahead of myself. I should.
Last year was a disaster. Great. Nick bought his first and only pink phone.
There's nothing wrong with
That's
pink.
True. But when you go to the compare page
Yep.
for the iPhones,
Yep.
the 13 looks like 10R red. Like if you put the 10R next to the 13, they look the same. Whereas the 12 looks way brighter, way pinkish.
Yep.
So I think they fixed the red, but Midnight just looks like black with a slight blue to it. The blue looks kind of faded.
Yeah,
you're right. All these colors.
Yeah, there's no continuity. The blue is an in between 10R and 12.
Yeah, you're right.
There's some.
in the middle.
It's more teal than blue. There is a green hue going on in there with it.
Hold on. Are we on
this
iPhone 13
website
now?
is pointless.
I
Well,
think we're just talking
we're
about
on colors.
Okay,
Yeah, we're on
colors.
colors.
Good.
I guess. Wait.
No colors and
in context
consistency.
to it, we're talking about no continuity that's happening. We're not on iPhone yet. All right.
Okay,
well,
good. Because I need to ask Drew. Are you getting the iPad Mini? Because here's
to review, yes.
Here's what it is for me. Okay, so reviewing. Here's what it is for me. Right, the iPad Pro. I was really trying to make this my primary computer. I had for almost 2 years. I had the keyboard. I even bought a 4th gen iPad Pro with a terabyte of storage, and it was going to be my computer. And I made it work for a little while, and it was great. But then iPad OS sucks, and it continues to suck. And the people who run iPad OS suck, and they continue to suck. And so they're just the worst people in the world, limiting the best hardware. Hi, Tim.
Hi, Tim. You suck.
You suck,
Great
Tim.
keynote today.
Yeah, great keynote. No, it's probably not the actual engineers typing the code. It's probably whoever's in charge of designing the roadmap. So Craig, basically, of iPad OS and that whole team. But iPad OS is just so limited. And now I don't even have. I sold my smart keyboard or Magic, whatever the one that floated, the floating keyboard, whatever that one was. Magic keyboard folio case. Thank you, with a keyboard.
That one's Magic, not smart.
I don't know. Whatever one I had, I can't keep them straight. They got too much.
It's not a smart keyboard case.
It's a Magic keyboard case. There we go. Anyway, so I've just been rocking just the 3rd gen iPad Pro, and honestly, I don't use this super frequently, but I would use it more if it's a little bit smaller, because this is almost 13 inches. It's kind of too big to not use in a laptop mode. And that's something I know that I never really did. I never really ever took my other iPads out of their cases, out of laptop mode, because they're just big. They're big. And so, I've watched a few TV shows and stuff on the iPad and whatever, but I don't use it every day. I don't take it to work with me. I don't do, anything around the house with it. It's pretty much just here. And so if I can, flip this and turn it into an iPad Mini, I'd see myself using an iPad Mini a lot more frequently, just because it's a little bit more palmable. And I think that'll be a good trade. So I'm looking forward to it. I think that this will be a purchase for me. Randy, were you going to get it?
I do want to review it, but I want to buy it with the intent of keeping, and I'm not convinced. I don't know what color to get. What did you get, Drew?
Starlight.
Starlight?
Oh, you got Starlight too? Oh, bummer.
Well, I feel bad because I was live streaming at the time, and for those who don't know, my stream got taken down as I was reacting to it.
No way. On Twitch or YouTube?
Nick, it's September. Remember what year it is. I left Twitch months ago. There's no Twitch.
Hi, Nick. Welcome back to the tech community.
Welcome back. So, Nick.
Here's what's been going on since you've been gone.
I've been a Starbase.
There's no Twitch anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense for the Starbase guy to get Starlight. That's only fair and appropriate. But I was live streaming and playing around with the webpage and looking at stuff, and then people were like, the Mini 6 is available to order now. And I was like, really? I thought it was coming later. I thought my brain was all anticipating October launch. And then I go to the Mini 6 page and it's like view pricing and then no, it just said order. Yeah. And I was like, oh, wait, it's out now? I was like, oh, crap. So I was like, hold on, everyone. I got to order it. So I put up a poll and I was like, which color should I get? Whichever one was leading in the polls, I ordered that one. And it was Starlight. So I got Starlight. But I would have gotten a different one if I knew you were getting Starlight.
Yeah, and we didn't have any communication.
That's all right. It's fine. We can just have two of the same. It doesn't matter.
Now I'm getting
Crispy B-roll
Starlight.
too.
Yeah. You're falling out.
All
I
the
don't
same.
want I don't want a pink one. I don't really want a purple one.
Not that.
And
purple.
I don't want a space gray one. So I
Same.
just kind of
That's
defaulted.
I want
literally
a green
the-
one.
Yes.
We need
mint
a
green. I would have
Randy
gotten a mint green one. Yeah.
I seen the mint green in person, and I just didn't like it because it looks silver until you like squint, and then you're like,
Oh, kind of like Starlight.
Yeah. Well, Starlight was basically new. I was like, that's a color I don't know much about. Is it gold? Is it silver? I don't know. It's one of
It's
something in between.
iPhone 12.
And funny that they got rid of the gold budget iPad
Yeah,
Okay.
they did, huh?
for the. Why bother? I don't know, but they did. It's like they were like, if you're spending this kind of money on an iPad, you don't.
You don't
need
get
try
to
to tell
choose.
someone.
You don't get to
You
choose.
don't have the gold color. Let's not kid ourselves. Gold is a luxury color. Why is there a gold on a budget product? Actually, I'm
Ouch.
gonna double check something
Ouch.
really quick just to make sure
What?
I'm right.
What?
I forgot to bring this up in the video.
What?
What's
The
happening?
budget iPad killed white bezels.
No.
Yes.
Way.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
No way.
White bezels are all gone on the iPad line.
We need to stop
My
the podcast,
God,
Drew. You need to make a whole new
Oh,
video.
he's right.
Dude,
iPad
you totally are
hardware
right.
team.
He's
I
right.
want to kiss you. The iPad hardware team is amazing.
Has
It
never been
literally-
All
wrong.
of you. Every single last one of you. You built this beautiful Mini 6, and now you were like, so the 24-inch iMac got white bezels, so we're killing white bezels on every iPad now.
You're not
There is
wrong.
no...
That's
Okay,
good.
I'm tweeting this. I'm sorry.
Tweet
Just
it.
can't wait.
Do it.
That's fine.
All-
All right. Okay. While he
all
tweets, I'm gonna talk out loud here. I think I'm gonna get Starlight.
Please talk
Just to,
in your head, Randy. That's better for
No.
all of our ears, actually.
no, I'm gonna do Starlight just to screw with you guys.
Okay.
But the thing is, I want to review it, and I think the best thing to do is to get the 64 gig because what's storage configurations anymore? Nobody cares about that hoopla. I'm gonna make
I honestly
thumbnails
don't,
and stream things. That's it. I can do 64
Mhm.
gigs. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm been on 64 gigs for
Same.
3 years now. No, and I haven't filled it. I've never gotten the warning. So, even though Apple says on the webpage, it's like prepare for the future.
Yeah. Shut
Get
up.
more storage if you're
No.
not a moron. No,
Wow.
that's what it says. No, it says that. Not a moron. Yeah, I'm looking right
I'm
at
looking
it.
right at it. You're right. He's right. Not a moron. I am a
Confirmed.
bit of a. I'm not gonna lie to you, Joe. I'm a little bit. Never mind. I don't think I can say that word.
You
No,
can't
you
say that word. Sorry.
So.
You can't quote that man on this. on
You
this
literally
podcast.
can't.
What man are we even talking about? Hey, should I add an engraving to it?
Please
I don't
don't.
know. Some guy who sounds like a frog.
And he's turned to front.
So-
Where's my chemical water, Randy? I think you took
So-
my chemical water away.
I'll just end the subject by saying I love the iPad Mini 6, although I can't think of a use case where I end up keeping it
Yeah.
because I'm a diehard 120 hertz fan,
Hmm.
and that's a pretty important feature to me. As is Face ID. I love the size, but if I end up getting a MacBook, I'm gonna use the iPad as an external monitor alongside it, so I want that to be a nice big screen. And I do use it for video thumbnails and for FaceTime every day. Maybe it should be my center stage machine.
There
I
you go.
just get the iPad Mini for the
duct
podcast
tape it to your
recordings.
wall. Just duct tape it to the wall.
Not only that, but you also get the comfort of knowing that you are no longer holding your breath for the 2-in-1 iPad. You already
this
don't.
is so true.
Like,
Yep.
where I'm going as you don't use the keyboard anymore, right, Drew? You went back to the folio
Mm-hmm.
case.
No, I sold it. It's physically
See?
gone.
So you guys, both of you fine gentlemen, are already at least 1 to 2 steps in front of me about all that. I'm sitting here holding on to some fake dream, but now that iPad OS has 15 has dropped today, once I update, like that's it. iOS 14 was the last remaining hope for me to think that this was going to be something more. And it's not that I'm holding on to some fake illusion that something's going to change. It's that I just don't know. Like, good on you, Drew. You found a use case for that screen to be a dual display for your MacBook. I don't know if that's how that would work in my life, since I'm using, a cinema display for my MacBook. I want the iPad to not hold any reality distortion over me, and I'm happy that I don't suffer what you suffer with ProMotion, and I can say, who cares?
Ouch.
I see it.
I'm jealous. I'm
happy you're jealous because it makes me feel not crazy.
I wish I didn't care. Because if I honestly didn't care, I would probably keep a Mini 6.
Yeah. I think
It's a
the
shame.
idea of having updated hardware for FaceTime is more important to me than anything else to do with iPad, especially because you guys, I communicate with you guys regularly. I talk to my family on this. This is the most communicative device that I use over iPhone. iPhone is more texting and everything else, but when it comes to calls, and when I say calls, I mean FaceTime calls, it's all done on iPad. And that's a good thing for me. And the other hesitance I have is the battery life, but this thing is 3 years old. It can't be doing me any favors with the battery, but I am hesitant about the battery thing too. That does intimidate me, to be honest. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what mine's at. I have no clue. It's plugged in a lot, so it can't be good.
For using like over or any studio thing with the Apple Pencil and using it for like. Oh, you're right.
I think
What
you
is
mean
that?
Studio.
Studio.
The world's best app.
Who needs over when you can go daddy?
Oh my God! No. Hey, can we just high five Drew today, everyone who's watching this? Because he's been on it in his streams. He's been making me laugh like none other. Today you woke up on
you guys
funny side.
You guys should have seen me when the stream got taken down. I was panicking. I was just like, what? Generate new key, take the stream down, privatize that end stream. I was like, and I was listening to the iPad get announced at the same time. I was like, okay, we're back. Hey, everyone.
Who took you down? Apple?
Apple.
Wow.
Really?
It wasn't a strike, though. It was a block. So no claim. I trimmed out that portion of the stream, and now it's public. It's up. It's monetized. There's no long-term damage. I wanted to see, because this was the first time we had an Apple event since I switched to YouTube, and I was curious. I was like, can I get away with this? The answer is no. Now we know. So.
Oh, did you actually showcase the stream? Did you show it?
I was showing the event this time. Yeah.
Oh, you daring boy, you.
I was muting it anytime it played music, though. I did the same thing with the Samsung event.
Yeah, not good enough.
I showed the Samsung event on YouTube, and it didn't hurt anything. But
that's because nobody
Apple
cares about
like,
Samsung.
Hey, are you hyping up our products? Stop that.
Ban.
You know, Tim is relying on the watch time their YouTube stream generates to pay for his vacation home. So he's like, we can't have people restreaming this stuff. It's not allowed.
That makes sense.
I'm just grateful. At the end of the day, I'm just thankful it wasn't a strike. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Message received. I'll take the message. I got it. Understood.
So, did you guys notice when they were introducing the iPad Mini 6 and the I guess just the iPad Mini 6, they didn't mention what processor it had. They just said, and it's 30% faster and 80% faster.
That annoyed me. I didn't like that.
Well, I knew instantly that it had the A15 chip, but they didn't want to say A15 chip on the 12 Mini or the 12 Mini.
They wanted to say
iPad Mini
for the iPhone.
Yeah.
The reason that makes no sense to me is they announced the A14 with the Air last year, which was a whole month before the iPhones came out, and they announced the A14 there. Also, they didn't announce the chip of the Series 7 at all, and they still haven't. They didn't save that for later. They just didn't bring it up. They said like faster charge times, but if you go to the watch page on the website, there's no tech specs you can go to. There's no configurator. It's
Series
not. There's no.
Gave us nothing new.
That's not true.
What's new?
20% more screen area than Series 6.
No, that is not what I'm saying. I'm talking features.
Well, that wasn't gonna give you that. Was there any rumor?
Yeah, but we thought something was gonna happen.
I thought it would just be a design upgrade and nothing else.
And we didn't even get that.
Well, I got part of it. We got the big screen jump, but we didn't get the squared off edge because everyone is wrong.
How does it feel to? I want to talk from an outside perspective really quickly. I saw Nick.
Okay.
I saw his heart break right in front of me.
Literally broke in 2 pieces. I had to go to the doctors.
Nick was so jazzed with iPad, and he's like, "Oh my God, I'm doing it! It's right there. It's beautiful." Now here is Series 7. Oh, here it goes. Wait, it's round. What? And immediately, his whole demeanor for the rest of the keynote was just like somebody just killed his puppy.
Yep, and I'm still feeling that.
You guys really hate it, don't you?
I really do.
No, I do not.
I literally hate it. So
man, so this is what it feels like. It's good to be back on Apple's side again. It's refreshing.
Help me, Drew, because I've been fighting with Nick since then. I've been trying to let him see the light.
Nick, when the iMac 24-inch iMac came out, how you feel now? That's how I was feeling.
Okay, good to know.
It's a mutual understanding.
Good. I now understand what you're feeling. I wish I wasn't understanding it, but now I know.
Now we know.
So I want you to sit in it, Nick.
Yeah, let me quickly explain why I have these feelings, and then Randy and Drew can try to convince me otherwise.
Okay.
I listened to the dang leakers again. I listened to the dang leakers every single event. Every single event. I'm always the one who says, no, MacBooks are not going to come out at dub. I'm going to buy a MacBook a week before just to prove my point. Didn't happen. I was right.
On that one.
I listened to the dang leakers this time. Never, ever, ever listen to the freaking leakers. They don't know what they're talking about. And I got way too excited for this Apple Watch. And unfortunately, I'm not getting the Apple Watch Series 7 whenever it comes out because my Series 4 gets me through exactly what I need it to. And if I'm going to be completely honest, if I'm going to drop another $800-900 on a stainless steel Apple Watch, I want it to be the new design so that I will feel like it will last for another 4 years at this point. Like the Series 4 is lasting me till the Series 8 at least, if not longer. So good trade on the Series 4, I guess. And I want to make sure that my next watch will also last that long visually. So it's just so sad because like literally Apple could have had anywhere between $800 and $1,100 of my dollars today. They literally could have, but Tim Cook didn't want it. So that's on you.
But yeah.
Come now, doctor. No time for panic. That
Okay.
comes later. Boop.
Yeah. That's a great movie.
I love that movie.
I want to know what would have gotten you to sell. Is it just the squared off chassis and
Literally
that's it? Or is
just
there a
the squared
feature?
off chassis, and I was looking forward to getting always on display.
This should be interesting.
Go ahead.
This is going to be a long freaking podcast. Okay.
Do it. Let's do it.
We're going to take like 2 hours to talk about a 1 hour podcast. Sorry, 2 hours to talk about a 1 hour presentation. That's what I meant to say.
It felt like a podcast.
So your main reason was to buy a watch that would look like the latest watch for a long time, right?
Yeah, sure, for a long time. So I believe that would be a squared one. And so that's what I was looking for.
So are you under the thought process that a squared one is coming next year?
I would assume
and
so.
And this is just not
or
the year?
the year after that, or the year after
Nick,
that. At some point,
did you hear what you just said a couple minutes ago about not believing the leaks? Don't trust in the leakers. I'm under the belief, I could be wrong now. I've been wrong, but I've also been bizarrely right when I shouldn't have been.
This is true.
I don't think they're ever going to take the watch in the square direction now. I think this was the year to do it, and they didn't. And now especially that they're flexing, that the pixels are falling over the edge, like you can see the screen from a perpendicular angle. I think this is what Apple Watches are going to look like for the foreseeable future. I think for the next 4 to 5 years, we're not getting squared off. I think this is the new screen size. This is the redesign. It's not the redesign we were expecting, but it's the one
we deserve.
We deserve. Because I still don't know how I feel about this. I'm trying to digest the news because I was worried this Series 7 would look different and it would match my ecosystem and it would make me want to ditch my 6, which I normally wouldn't because it's not that old and I just got it a year ago. And now it's like, well, the Series 7 doesn't match my ecosystem. So that argument falls apart now because it's still rounded off, but it still made my 6 look old and dated, and I hate it. So how do I interpret this?
Okay.
May I?
Oh, go ahead, Randy. Go ahead.
May I?
Because I saw Nick's little brain go when you said, you just said this a few minutes ago, don't trust the leakers. It was Apple's intent. I'm not even saying past tense. It is Apple's mission with Apple Watch to give you the most elegant design possible. And what Drew had said for years, I mean, one thing, Drew has been consistent on this. Having like a
not much, but this.
But this he's been, like this is the one thing where it's like there's nothing but continuity. Drew always said the circular design is the wrong design approach for data to be presented on the screen. And
not on my watch.
Not on my watch. And the rounded design was meant to form its better form factor to your body than a squared off design. He had said that the moment all three of us sat around a very same room like this, and we said, after we saw iPad in 2018, iPad Pro, and we said, can you imagine iPhones doing this? Oh, and then the Apple Watch. And we sat there and it's like, we want that. And in 2018, we then realized that like that would not be comfortable on the wrist. That would actually
I think it would.
The design.
I think it would.
Look at your watch band. The watch band slit where it will slide to clip would have to change for it to even fit on a square chassis because it's curved down.
I don't think it'd be uncomfortable
if you went
because it's sitting on the puck. It's sitting on the glass.
But if you now change the thing to where it's a flat design, all that extra space, what are you trying to fill with? Battery? Is that what we're trying to change? Because it's not just screen resolution. That already got resolved with Series 7 right now. What you're trying to do inside the internally is rearrange the structure of it. You're going to run out of more new space for the watch band to actually clip in without maybe doing a whole redesign on the watch band itself. And it might look different, but looking different just to be different isn't good enough for Apple. It has to have a certain functionality to it, which is why I was kind of hoping something functional was going to happen with Series 7, and it didn't. Okay, fine. But with the screen itself, they still achieved the screen goal of what they're trying to do, which was to push it even further out.
It was higher than leaked, actually. The rumor was 16% larger, and now it's 20, so it's much larger than anticipated. Every part of the leaks were wrong. Oh my god. It's amazing. I'm sad that Nick's disappointed because I thought he'd be really happy to be like, everyone's wrong again. I am very
happy that everyone's wrong, but I am even more upset that I am happy that I listened to them. Why do we listen to these random idiots on the internet who have little to no more information than we do and believe that what they say is gospel when they get it wrong? Apple event after Apple event after Apple event. And I get way too excited. And then when the Apple event actually comes, I'm not excited about what they introduce. I'm disappointed because I got way too excited before. And now I'm upset and I'm mad at you, specifically Mr. You-Know-Who. Dang you!
I mean, they got the color green. It was just the wrong shade of green, but I couldn't be happier.
Nick's upset with the color options mostly. But
that's exactly what I was upset about.
Mr. You-Know-Who. Was he Voldemort? He who shall not be named?
Literally, he shall not be named.
Right.
I love thinking in my head of all the potential things that went wrong for this to happen. For one, it's either people guessing and making wild assumptions based on others' guesses and saying Apple will probably do this, therefore I will treat it as a leak, and that way it looks like I have sources when the product does launch. Or my more fun but less probable scenario, Apple is sending out fake leaks to weed out the unloyal and finding out who is revealing info. So they probably told a bunch of higher up people at Apple, here's the squared off design, we wanted to match the 12, and then it shows up everywhere, and that's what everyone's expecting, and then Apple's like, that we're not doing that.
Yeah.
And rounded stays around, displays bigger, designs upgraded and all, but they got it past suppliers, they got it past Bloomberg, they got it past John, they got it past Ian, they got it past everybody, Gurman, and they're like, yeah, no, we still want to have some surprises that people think are unexpected. I'll
give them points for unexpected.
Likely, yeah, this is the Ryan Johnson of Apple Watches.
Yeah.
And I happen to like this one. It's his Looper. And I think...
I like Looper. That's a good one.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good one.
It's a Ryan Johnson movie that was good.
Yeah.
Unlike another film.
Yes. A very sad. So,
Avengers Endgame.
I was talking... I was talking about how this doesn't feel like a conspiracy tinfoil hat moment anymore. I think what you're saying, Drew, is exactly that's it. That Apple, they're trying to take control of leaks, and they have been purposely mislead. This isn't the first time we heard misinformation like this before. And
I don't actually think that's it, but it's a good theory. I think it's baloney. That's what I'm trying to say.
Do you think everyone's just in a room, circle jerking each other, saying like, "Here's what it is," and then I'm gonna add on top of that, add on top of that, add on top of that, or somebody? Because
I think a bunch of people watched my video. I'll take responsibility here. I think a bunch of people. This is not it. I'm just playing it up for the podcast here.
Do it.
I did a video a long time ago called "The Case for a Squared Off Apple Watch."
That's it.
Where I basically explained as to why it makes sense and why it wouldn't be as ugly as people think, and that it wouldn't be uncomfortable, and that it could be done in a way where the connectors still work. And I explained this would be great, and this is maybe where the Apple Watch has to go because there's nowhere else for them to go feature-wise. Like this is the only direction.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people watched that and went,
"Huh,
that makes sense. I think Apple will do that. Let's claim
that
it is
Apple
going to
sheep is
happen."
onto something.
They're like, let's claim we have a source. And that video is the sole reason Nick is upset right now.
That's it.
That's the end. That's where
then
it
all
all
the people
stemmed
who
from.
don't know who you are, they're like, "Hey, that explosive tech guy is onto something. We should do something with that."
To avoid drama, I'm not saying the YouTubers themselves are doing it. I'm saying whoever their sources are, or their alleged sources who may not be sources at all. At this point, I think all of the leakers who have been proven wrong should be second guessing who their sources were at this point. We
should be second guessing them too, because they put their credibility
everyone
on the line
should
here.
be. We should be third and fourth guessing at this point. And these guys got things so wrong that they need to be either assuming Apple fooled them intentionally, or you are being trolled. Someone is reaching out to you, telling you stuff that you think sounds real and think sounds legit, so you believe it and run with it, and it just ends up being flat out wrong because they weren't really a source in the first place. There was some guy in Spain.
Don't you talk about Nikias like that?
No, not Nikia. No, I was talking about what's his face.
No, that's a joke. He's not even in Spain.
The
Yes,
guy
he
who
is.
doxed his
Nikias is in Barcelona.
IP when he said that he was at the Apple event as they were filming it.
Yeah.
That guy. He was like, "No, I'm there. They're filming right now. Phil Schiller's here." And then the next day, Phil retired.
I was there in San Diego when they were filming the San Diego bit with iPhone 13.
Of course. Right.
I was right there. You guys thought we were joking about the La Mesa thing? We were there.
Randy filmed it. He was the cameraman.
Yeah, absolutely.
They hired Randy.
Bless you, Nick. Yeah, I used his drone, and we just went to work.
So to come all the way back to the watch subject, my opinions are conflicted because the main reason I was worried about the 7 was not delivered on, but I love it. I think it looks amazing.
Okay. Furthermore,
I
Drew,
love the look.
are you going to sell your Series 6?
Ooh. That's the question. I don't know. That's why you guys are here. I need.
Okay. Is this the Apple Sheep support group meeting? Okay.
This is I love the display, and I believe that this is going to be the future of Apple Watch design for the foreseeable future. Do you guys disagree? Do you think they will go squared off eventually, and it just wasn't this year?
Maybe it's just me enjoying the concept renders so much that I really want it. I really want the squared off design. Again, ever since 2018, I've been saying this. Give me a squared off iPad mini. Give me a squared off iPhone.
Yeah.
Give me a squared off iPad. Give me a squared off MacBook. I love that square, but itsy bitsy radius just to make it a very, very nice design.
Much like what we talked about earlier this week in regards to iPhone 14 leaks, I just don't care. Wait,
yeah,
so what I mean is
just like Marquez.
Wait, well, I said it before. He was cool, but yes, like Marquez.
No, he's like, I don't care.
Yeah, right. He's like, you guys want to talk about the embargo date? I don't care. I got paid all the same.
Marquez I was like, why would he care? He has all this stuff already.
Yeah,
like,
whatever. You know my dates, whatever. No, but I'm like,
it's like.
With iPhone 14, it can look exactly so retro. It can look like the original iPhone modernized, and I just wouldn't care because that's not what's selling me on the next iPhone. Likewise, whatever the Series 7 was supposed to be, which I say is this, Series 8, Series 9, I don't care. What I care is having a watch that gets me through the day, and this is dying, and that's the only thing I care about. So I told you guys, and I'm still adamant by it, I was going to upgrade regardless. I need to. It's a point of necessity.
You did not care about the design or anything.
I didn't care. I already won because now I get all these new features over the last 3 years that I didn't have with Series 4. So I'm already getting a brand new watch. Plus, I'm getting an even bigger screen real estate, which is a win in my book. Statistically, I've always upgraded to the new design, quote, new, if you want to call Series 7 new. I went from 0 to 4. I had nothing in between. I'm going 4 to 7, nothing in between. And each time I've upgraded, it was that much more rewarding because I didn't do annual upgrades with Apple Watch. And I'm getting all these new features, whether it's the blood oxygen, whether it's the always on, whether it's compass, the fact of having it
crucial.
Crucial. But guys, we're missing the biggest point. There's that midnight green again. I won.
Oh yeah. You would have
Drew,
if they went back.
Can I share a prediction with you, Drew? This is my prediction for Randy this year.
We're all having separate conversations.
We're having separate conversations
by
right
ourselves.
now. I love this together. Drew, my prediction is that Randy is going to go back to his green 11 Pro and get a green Apple Watch Series 7 and just live in the rounded off green ecosystem.
Ooh, wow.
That's my
You're
prediction.
making my mind wander. Can you imagine the thin bezels of the Series 7 but on an 11 Pro size?
We'll talk about Nick's prediction once we get through iPhone next, because I've been purposely holding off on what we're going to do with iPhone.
Okay.
Just like the Apple event, I did that way too early.
We're almost an hour in, and we haven't got to the iPhone.
I know, dude. This is going to be a long podcast. Good thing I cleared my schedule for the next hour.
Yeah. Oh, shoot.
Got to roll out to go catch.
Yeah, I think obviously even if it had fatter bezels than before and it was objectively worse, you would have bought the green watch. That fits you so well. It's so perfect.
You're not wrong, but I am. There is vanity in my decisions, and I do care about aesthetics a lot because watch is so personalized in that sense.
Yes,
but I think that regardless of the green or not green, having the bigger screen and now having a QWERTY keyboard in the watchOS is an indication of Apple really pushing Apple Watch to its limits on what you could do on such a small footprint. And I'm kind of excited about that. That doesn't mean I'm expecting Face ID, or not Face ID, but FaceTime or anything like that. But it makes me think about what other apps are going to start utilizing more iPhone features that could be there, whether it's more interactive widgets that you could do within those apps itself. And specifically when I get text messages or if I want to take a phone call, can I do more functionality besides, hey, what's up? Okay, let me cut. Yep, I'm on Watch and Talking set, and just hang up. It's kind of exciting. And to go back, I did not forget, Drew. I know we're having 3 separate conversations, but my roundabout here is for you. I think you should get the Series 7 because you are refreshing your lineup regardless. You are refreshing everything in 2021 in some way, shape, or form. Most likely. iPhone is the given, but we'll get to that in a second. iPad might just happen for you. MacBook may very well happen for you. Things in 2021 seems to be the proper 3 to 4 year increment. We normally look at some things where everything gets a clean slate refresh. And I think if you're going to go into this next generation for the next couple of years of what we're having with the Apple ecosystem, I think you should not do yourself any injustices and give yourself a clean lineup then if you can find yourself in a comfortable range to sell the Series 6, because that's the deciding factor. Make that happen. Give yourself a whole brand new lineup and say, here's how well my products held up from 2021 whenever the time comes and you want to look at it. So you could be like, I had it all. I gave myself the clean lineup from iPad, Mac, iPhone, and Watch. Those are the 4 most important ones that we use the most. And for you, it would just fit better for you long term. I'm not thinking designs and what's going to be cool next year. I'm thinking 3-4 years now you could be like, here's how this here was the Apple of 2021 and here's how it treated me and here's my takeaways from that. I think it's a better fit for you specifically. That's my thought.
Okay, fair. That's a good point. I didn't consider that.
You're
upgrading
welcome.
Everything at once. I guess similar to the Series 4, I don't want to buy a new watch every year. The only reason I got rid of the 4 was because I got a good deal on the 4 so I could get to the 6 without having to really spend anything.
It
was a side. Yeah, I wasn't even really paying money for it. If anything, I made money off it. But I don't. Whatever the next watch is, I want it to be a long term. I don't want to buy this for another year and then buy next year. So I guess I'm concerned if I buy a 7 that when the 8 comes out, maybe that's squared off and that fits with the rest of the ecosystem way better. But I guess that's the internal debate I'm having is, do we think a design change would come next year or the year after? Or
leakers?
No. The answer is no to that question every day. And Drew,
I think the design will stay the same. I'm not even saying take into account leakers. I'm just saying your own personal prediction.
My personal, if I could be CEO of Apple for a year, or however long it takes to get an Apple Watch to market, it would be flat instantly. Like iPad Pro 3rd gen and above, iPad Mini 6, like just beautiful,
everything,
beautiful. I want that, but. The more you talk through, the more I'm now becoming convinced that it's probably not going to change. And this was the year for them to do that.
Screen changes are rare.
Yeah,
right?
Screen changes. Like literally, we've only had one other screen change in Apple Watch's history.
Yeah.
Literally once. And we're on series almost 8.
This is the second time.
We're almost, we're over a half a decade into this. We've been doing this for a while. And
That's definitely one way to look at it. Whoa.
Hey. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
It's been a while since 2015.
6 years of watches. We've had 2 screen changes. So if there's one this year, the likelihood of there being another one next year or a chassis change, they kind of go hand in hand.
And just look at like the list of things we've been waiting for Apple Watch. The blood glucose monitoring, the squared off design, mini LED.
That was rumored in like 2017.
Literally, I know, right? Like we've been waiting around for so long for these features. Apple's like, okay, they probably have like a list of 10 things on a whiteboard.
Okay.
They got like a list. They got a list of like
Nick.
10 features in a whiteboard at Apple Park somewhere, and they're literally like, okay, so each one of these features, after we get through this list of features, we're gonna have nothing for the Apple. Like literally nothing. So we better save each one of these features for a whole year, and they just give every single one of these features their entire year to shine. So
Series 8 will be the health sensor year then.
Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
There's a Gurman, very reliable leaker.
Very reliable.
was telling us, the Series 8 would get a blood temperature and glucose monitor, and they would have all that stuff ready. But it's like, basically, I don't want to buy the year before, especially because this isn't launching in September. This is going to be a later in the year model,
this fall,
which
December
38 is probably only going to be around for 10 months or so.
Yeah, that's what we thought about iPhone 12 too.
That's true.
Which was true.
That's true. We're here.
Here we are. 13's out. iPhone 12,
still here.
12 Pro and 12 Pro Max were gone in 12 months. Okay, the Pros are gone.
Yeah.
The regulars are here.
So
that's a good segue.
Before we do that, I just want to conclude one thing about trying to convince Nick.
One more thing.
One more thing.
Nick, with the flat design, Apple would not be able to achieve what they were able to achieve with Series 7 now, and that's because if the screen is elevated.
I do like that. That is one of the things.
It bleeds over. There's no bezel now like that.
I don't mean to brag, but I did a video on that very subject years ago. I'm gonna find it now.
Brag away. Brag it.
I do think it's cool. Hold on. I gotta know what to search.
See, now it makes more sense on an Apple Watch than it did on a Samsung Galaxy 7 Edge or whatever they call it.
Yeah, because you set that off all the time on accident.
Here, now all that information, it curves over. It gives you, imagine having full wallpaper that just eats up your whole screen like that. You couldn't have that with the flat design.
That's true.
Food for thought.
If they went to the squared chassis, they couldn't flex that feature.
Now you can
all.
actually look at your data and your information from a side profile and be like, look at that, and you could still.
That's what I was imagining. I was like, if you don't even have to tilt the wrist, you could just look down and see.
It's cool.
Something.
Even with an always on display for those who like it. I know you're not a fan of it, Drew. I've never used it, so I don't have a thought.
I don't hate it. I just don't use it. Yeah.
I've talked to people who love it, and they're like, dude, now I can look at these photos. And so, they want, like you, Drew, they have a wallpaper of their loved ones with the time, and they're like, this is great. And they feel so, warm and loved looking at this stuff. And it's a feel-good thing. So I think the curved corners and pushing it to the point where it can bleed over, we couldn't have that with the flat design. And I like that. And I like green, so, take it for what it is. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with the Apple Watch. We could talk about whatever when you guys are ready. I'm good.
Have you made your piece on it, Nick? You have anything else?
I don't know. I'm starting to reconsider, Drew. Thankfully, it's not anything soon.
Yes.
We got till sometime this fall. So I don't know. We'll see.
He was disappointed.
I am still disappointed, but I'm now to the point where maybe I'll give it a try. I'm like, instead of I'm absolutely hating it, I'm like, yeah. This was a me problem. This was not an Apple problem. Like, at the end of the day, this wasn't Apple doing a bad product. It was me getting way too excited about a potential product. So,
and my goal is to convince you that this is better than what was rumored.
My goal
as Randy's discussing it, it's actually making me think like this might be better than a square.
So here's why, because it's my goal to convince you guys to never weigh on leaks again. I feel like
this is gonna be the Taylosive anti-leak podcast.
It just now that whole
destroy leak.
No, it's the expectation that robbed us of a certain feeling, and I saw John tweet where he was like, wait, what? Like, I believe that, like, and so many other people too following it, that I think everybody felt just a little robbed. And my takeaway from that, I'm not blaming the people who are reporting it, whether it's Prosser, Gurman, I'm not blaming any of those people. I am now just kind of blaming the infrastructure itself that's been established, that this is we deserved that gut punch feeling we feel where we're like, wow. Because this is what we get for going off of anything that's not official, and we're all a little guilty of it, and we all get a little excited. But now, I feel like this could be our reality check, the jumping in the cold water to be like, okay, you can only work off of the information you have provided now, and what I say now, this is the best Apple Watch we could have ever been given. It has everything. All it did is refine what it already perfected even more with a better screen. So. I haven't even thought about looking at the batteries. I don't even know if the batteries have been improved, but I'm assuming the battery's also an improvement. And if it's not, then so be it. It's still perfecting on what we have now. So with Apple Watch, with iPad, with iPhone, and with anything else going forward, I have to take it at face value because that's all I can do. That what we have now is the best that we can work off of, and it tempers all expectation, and we can be okay with the decisions that we make. Big picture, Drew, you don't care what next year's iPhone is going to look like. Your mind has changed now. Why should that be only exclusive to iPhone? Why should you punish yourself about any other product when you have a clear vision about your iPhone? You should not reward yourself with the same. All right, this is why I care about iPhone, and find your same thing with Apple Watch. And if it is a different design, then God bless you, man. I hope you get what you're looking for. But going off of the information we have and how long Apple Watch has been around, this is the best design we could have ever gotten for everything that Apple Watch is. And
it is gorgeous.
I can't wait to get my hands on it and be rewarded with my patience with green. It's all about green for me, guys.
I can't be mad.
I can't.
Yeah, I couldn't be mad at it. It looked too beautiful. I was like, well, it's not what I thought, but oh my God, look at it. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Those bezels are thin. Never seen bezels that thin.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
If we wait, what are you waiting for? It's the paradox of when is it a good time to update at this point? You could be waiting forever. We say that all the time for everybody else.
True.
When they say, Drew, should I update? And we see that all the time, and they have always asked us too, should I wait or should I upgrade? What does that paradox entail to you then? When is it a good time to update? When's the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago? The second time is now? When's a good time? You can only go off.
Best time to invest.
Yeah. So I treat that with your purchasing decisions. People don't wait. And you know why? I feel the conviction I feel because I did this with Tesla, with my Model 3. We could wait and get the later and greater, and I could have, but at what point are you diminishing returns on your waiting? I'm not getting any younger.
Right.
I'm not getting that time back for what? So I can get USB-C? It's at this point, it's like, this is time I can't get back, and I don't want to wait another year to maybe get a cooler design and watch my watch die just because of something I hope to see. So,
you're right. I mean, there's people already saying like, Squared Off must be coming next year, but like, looking at the Series 7 page right now, they are very proud of that spillover thing.
And they should
like,
be. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, they are like,
That's
the
pretty impressive.
subtle wraparound is created by refracted light at the edge of the display for a seamless integration. I was like, yeah, that would all fall apart if you did square. So
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to visualize at this point. They're like leaning into it practically at this point.
Literally leaning off the edge.
Yeah, they're leaning.
Especially with those new watch faces, like how the numbers are pushed to the very end.
Those are cool.
Yeah,
it's really
kind of
cool,
bubbly.
guys.
I want to try it. I want to see it. All right.
So we talked about
I think that covers
iPads and Apple Watches for an hour and 10 minutes. So I think we're done
That's
for the
the
day.
whole event, right?
Thanks, guys.
Did they announce
Bye.
everything else? Bye. Thanks for watching.
Oh, but wait.
3, 2, 1.
We have
One more thing.
Oh yeah, they made these little iPad-looking things.
Oh yeah, no, they're iPad Mini Max.
These little, they made iPad Nano.
iPad Nano.
With cellular options.
This
iPad
I'm
Nano.
actually very curious about. I think I know what phone Nick is getting.
Okay. The answer will surprise you.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Randy.
Now I don't know.
No, go ahead, Drew.
Are you being sarcastic?
No, let's go around. Let's all make predictions for each other. Maybe this will be more fun.
Well, I was gonna say 13 Pro Max until you responded like that.
Okay. 13 Pro. Now let me make my prediction for Drew. 13 Pro Max. Yep.
And let me make my prediction
correct.
for Randy. 11 Pro.
That was your prediction.
That was
To be
my
fair, I
prediction.
No,
haven't said it.
my prediction for Randy is 13 Mini.
Ooh.
Because Randy's big upgrading feature that this was all riding on was portrait mode video, which we've got in the form of cinematic mode. I don't know about you guys, but that blew me out of the water.
Okay.
I thought it was game changing. The footage, I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's from an iPhone? Like the rack focus shots and the little skit they filmed. I was like, it looks so good, and it will track with the person as they get closer. And I was I was blown away.
Post. You can
That's
adjust
what
it.
got
Post
me.
you can change.
Fix it in post was what got me on that feature.
I don't like. Were you guys as shocked by that as me?
It was very impressive. It was not what I was expecting, but in a good way.
I think they streamlined it. Like, they found a way to give the cinematic look without being overly complicated and analytical with, like, millimeters and a focus ring or anything. And they were like, no, the software does all that for it. Can detect when someone looks away.
Yeah.
I was like, this is such an Apple approach right now. I love it.
So, Nick, you go first.
Okay. So the iPhone that I'm currently eyeing is the iPhone 12 mini. No, is the iPhone 13 Pro Max 256 silver.
Okay.
I said the answer will surprise you because I originally said 512 or a terabyte, and we're only doing 256. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was thinking that they were going to remove the 256 price point and stick 512 in that slot. Yeah, it's just like I'm not going to spend $1,600 on a terabyte iPhone before tax. I'm sorry.
You're not the Nick I knew.
I know I'm not. I'm much more frugal and a little bit more tan.
You're not that guy.
Yeah, so 256 is what I'm leaning to because I have 128 right now, and I did fill it up. But now that I have more consistent internet access and not trying to run a whole life off of a phone,
I'm also considering 256, but for a different reason.
Ooh. Oh, you want 4K ProRes at 30, huh? Yeah. Okay. All right. So, what was our prediction for Drew?
Yeah, you're right.
iPhone 12
Pro Max. I just don't know which color. I don't like.
These
Sierra
colors
blue
suck.
looks.
Totally, 100% agree with you there. These colors suck.
Where were all those matte black pictures coming from? I saw like 5 of them.
Again, the leakers.
Trust the leaks, Drew.
Trust no one.
Hate
everything.
I
hate everyone for making me think. Apple Lab, what the heck is wrong with you? Why did you tweet all these matte black iPhone pictures everywhere? That looked so real. There were even case manufacturers like an hour before the event putting matte black options.
Not even a single orange or gold, bronze that they were talking to.
Oh, yeah.
None of that.
That was just a lie.
Straight up
so that
lie.
was a lie.
That was a lie. So
I don't know.
But
who
hey,
heard that.
Sierra Blue.
I have a feeling like Sierra Blue looks kind of cool, but I don't believe it looks like that in person.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I think it looks way cooler on the website than it actually will.
Where have we
which is
seen
why
this let down before?
last year, not
And the
not
year
even
before
a year ago.
Yeah,
I bet it's
11 months
still
ago.
as fingerprint attractive too with the stainless steel.
Yep,
I bet.
I agree. That's still probably my biggest annoyance with the design, but I'm more excited for the camera. But we'll dive into the camera, I guess, here. So, Randy, what are you eyeing? If you got your primary feature you were hoping so much for, better than we expected, it's available on any size.
Yes, sir.
You don't have to get LiDAR.
Hey, listen. I do have one. Before I tell you what I'm eyeing, I have one question that I did not understand from the keynote. I hope you know, Drew.
Who is Champ?
Was there? I was trying to solve the case and I didn't know.
It was the
couldn't figure
butler.
it out. So,
Who is Champ?
was there something proprietary with the Pro camera that let you do something in their, besides ProRes, were they offering something that was proprietary with the videography when they said, now here's this whole thing, including the behind the scenes shot on iPhone 13 Pro? When they did all that, are they saying there was something proprietary happening with either the color index or whatever was happening with its dark night mode or apertures and stuff like that? Were we seeing something that was only exclusive to that, or is everything, to my understanding, universally across the line with the exception of telephoto, being 3x now?
There's a few exceptions aside from telephoto. There's also the macro mode for photos, and I believe videos. The Pro has macro with it has lower aperture on the wide and ultra wide. So the low light performance should be better for astrology pictures and that kind of thing.
Astronomy.
Sorry, astronomy. I'm looking at the page right now. I don't see any differences in video, though.
Okay. Nope.
As far as I can tell, video performance should be equal between 13 and 13 Pro, other than Pro RAW. I mean ProRes.
ProRes,
sorry.
yeah.
Pro RAW as well is exclusive to the Pro. That hasn't changed. You
That's
still don't get
thing,
night
yeah.
mode portraits. Your favorite. Dolby. Okay, here's the video recording section. I'm checking right now to see if there's anything noticeable. But the Dolby Vision, Dolby Vision is equal now. So before you could only get 4K at 60 on the Pros. This year you can get 4K at 60 on the 13 Mini. 4K at 60. But the only difference, I'm in the video section right now. Only difference with video is ProRes and just ProRes.
Okay. So, I am eyeing 2 phones.
Okay. We're going to nail it down here.
Okay.
All right. First one is product red 13 mini. 128 gigs.
Ooh.
Sexy.
Yeah. Product red 13 mini 128 because I have 128 on the 12 mini. And I'm not even close to filling it up.
It's the base option now.
That's
the cheapest one.
Thank you for all of them. That's all I needed.
Storage improved.
The second one.
Screw you, iCloud.
The second one is iPhone 13 Pro Sierra Blue. Now, I want.
Okay. The Max is off.
I want the Max. I don't think it's going to fit my wireless charger mat in my Tesla. I think it's too big. I think it's too big.
Clearly, you need a Roadster.
Well, let me compare. I know an 11 Pro Max can fit.
Did it fit? Well, yeah, but that was different. 11 Pro
I thought
Max,
it did.
It did, but I thought it got even bigger with 12 Pro Max.
You're right, it did.
It got slightly bigger, but it should still fit.
A little bit. I think the Max will fit more than the Mini.
This is true.
No, the Mini, I still have to put like my wallet there to elevate it, and that's a hassle, but I accept. If it does fit, then I'm eyeballing the Max if it fits. I just want product red on the Pro so bad. That's all I want, because these colors suck, and I don't like any of the colors in the lineup, but I like how the dark crimson almost color looks.
Man.
For iPhone 13. Now,
what a shame, Apple. You literally couldn't make one color Randy liked for the phone, even though you got it exactly right on the Series 7.
That's right. Or bring me green back.
Yeah, anything.
So I'm torn because here's my issue with Mini now. If there is still proprietary video like there's something in the camera app that makes it do something better in the low light performance. If they're saying the aperture is better, we have better computational photography, blah blah blah, and all that stuff, then I want the lens. I'm not chasing the size anymore. I'm chasing the lens. I'm happy, cool that there's a 1.5 battery hours increase for the Mini, but it's still kind of lackluster, for lack of a better term.
I was expecting a bigger boost in battery as well.
Same.
I was kind of bummed to see just 1.5 hours. I was hoping for like 3 or more.
So you get 1.5 with Mini, you get 1.5 with 13 Pro, you get 2.5 with 13, and you get 2.5 with 13 Pro Max. So
year over year,
over year, and even between the base line and the Pro line this year, it's the lower of the two is 1.5 and the higher two is 2.5, and I think the battery part is just a little bit more important. Why I'm also torn is because I don't know about the iPad Mini yet. That's where my arm feels a little twisted, because if I got the iPad Mini, I would not get the iPhone Pro Max. We're getting too close at that point.
Yeah, you're right.
I would stick with the whole Mini lineup as a whole. I'd have a Mini iPad, Mini iPhone, and Mac Mini at some point, and just call it a day. I would be happy with that. I got HomePod Mini, iPhone Mini, iPad Mini, Mac Mini. Hopefully, we'll see. But
mini ecosystem.
The mini ecosystem works for everything that you would want it to work for. Just little consumer, little old me. But if I get the iPad,
the pumpkin spice version of Randy.
Hey, I'm as basic and as happy as I'll ever be, and no one can take that from me. So,
no, sir.
And I want to get the. I'm leaning also into 13 mini because I still want to vote with my dollar and say this is a great phone, because I do believe this is a great phone. This footprint should replace SE in the future, and give them these colors too, because that's a beautiful red, assuming it's exactly what we're looking at. I'm proud.
Yeah.
I'm proud of the smaller design still. I love the smaller design, but I care more
Me
about
too.
I care more about the camera than I care about the design. And I'm eyeballing too, because I don't know if that's actually true or not. If they're both exactly the same and the only difference is you get telephoto and macro, will it be enough to make me want to get the Pro? Maybe. I don't know. Macro seems cool. I just don't. I cared about the videography.
It's kind of gimmicky.
Yeah, it's gimmicky. I care more about the videography than anything else. And the fact that they made it this hard for me to choose is a good thing. So it's not that...
It's cool.
I don't know which one to get because I don't like them. I don't know which one to get because they're all giving me what I want. Now it's those other things. It depends on what else I'm buying if I want to get the iPad Mini or not. And that's a weird position to be in, because the iPad Mini is also contingent on what I do with MacBook. This whole thing feels like I have to wait. I'm ready to buy. It's just what am I looking at? What am I working with? I want to get hands-on with these products, but I don't want to buy something, return it because I'm reviewing it, and then get my real one. It's kind of teasing me a little bit, but I will. I'm not above that. I don't mind waiting a little bit longer. This is something I will hold on to for years. I got the phone of my dreams. From what I can tell with the camera stuff now, I'm happy. I'm all set. Go on without me, Apple. I'll live in 2021. This is a good year for me, but it depends. It just all depends. So, what do you think, Nick?
The reason I'm torn is because cinematic mode is 1080/30.
Wow. Okay. If that's what you're
at
gonna
128?
be, no. The cinematic mode is 1080/30 on all of them. The ProRes is 1080/30 on 128 and 4K 30. Yeah. I honestly don't care about that, and honestly, I've been thinking about changing my default settings for a while. Sorry, Drew. I don't care about 60 frames a second.
Peanut butter. Everything has to be
Yeah,
smooth
he's
for
Mr.
Drew.
Peanut Butter.
Yeah, but I'll take 30 at least at 4K, but 1080? Come on. A little better.
Yeah, well.
If the low light's good enough, then I don't really care.
I need to see how it looks, because I've seen really, really good 1080. So maybe it's really, really good 1080.
Hopefully.
If you're gonna watch I'm the type of guy, I know most of you guys who's watching this. If you're watching this on your phone, you're gonna watch. If you watch my stuff on your phone, I understand where I fit in the world of videography. I'm not gonna be making Marvel films anytime soon, so I don't care about IMAX or Red or anything, because I don't belong in that field yet. But if you're watching me on YouTube, I can live with 1080. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I just want to see if ProRes makes a difference, in compression.
It will definitely make
you.
a ton of difference on compression. I mean, I don't think we'll have ever seen, in my opinion, the problem that's always been holding the iPhone video back is the compression levels. I mean, no matter what you do, even if you're at 4K, it's just compressed. The H.265 codec is just very compressed, which is good because then you don't need all your storage up. But if you really stick it on a big monitor and you crop in a lot, you notice the compression. The 4K on a phone
very noticeable.
Is not as good as 4K off of a real camera because it's so compressed. It's not shooting in ProRes or ProRAW or any of these, pro formats, and it's noticeable. And so I think a big step up, that they don't even have to change any of the lens quality or any of the optics or anything. They just allow the sensor, really, it's the bottleneck of the sensor, to read out the data at uncompressed levels. There's a lot of hardware acceleration on even a lot of pro cameras that have compression built into the hardware of it, so that you don't have to write as much to disk. And ProRes is...
Ours is called OBS.
Ours is called OBS. And Randy and Drew are recording at like the world's lowest kilobits, so we can get this up fast. And
thank you, Streamlabs.
We're going to post this like 3 days later.
Yeah, definitely. I might. We'll see how long the show goes, because I have a hard stop today.
Okay.
No, but I think one of the big solutions here was to just do uncompressed, and I'm really looking forward to getting out my actual Sony camera, getting out like a Z cam or Cinema cam, or seeing what you guys come up with your Red Komodo, and comparing them side by side. And I know the iPhone, the pixels are smaller, so it's going to have more noise. It's not a full frame sensor, not even a micro four thirds. It's a micro postage stamp fingernail, and so it's super small. It's not going to be as good, but I'm really excited to see just what adding a non-compressed video codec is going to do for video. Now, the number of people who should actually use this, -7. -7 people should be using this feature, because ProRes is hungry on your storage. Like, you're talking hundreds of gigabytes for just a few minutes, 20, 30 minutes. Lots and lots of gigabytes on a full uncompressed ProRes file. There's a couple different versions.
1 terabyte makes sense this year.
Exactly, right? So that 1 terabyte, if you intend on using this new ProRes codec for anything longer than like 30-second clips of flowers that you immediately delete from your phone, don't. You need the larger storage.
If you're grabbing these Pro phones so you can put it up on Instagram, don't do the ProRes thing.
No.
There's so many layers of compression that happens with social media. The realization that, like, I know what people want, what they want to do, but at the end of the day, it's gonna go through so many layers of compression. Nick's spot on about, like, if you're just doing it for quick shots and stuff like that, then maybe the other but like, here's the thing, maxing out the terabyte one, now you're in $1,600, and if you're doing that for photography and videography, just get an SLR or a mirrorless camera.
You can get a Z cam for, we were just talking about this on the podcast the other week, Drew. We get a Z cam for like $1,400, and that's like gonna be, obviously need like about another $1,000 worth of batteries and lenses and screens
need
and
a
stuff.
lot of other stuff.
But technically,
even in the point and shoot realm,
exactly,
you can get a pocket. My pocket cinema I'm recording on right now was $1,200. I think so.
And there is, I do need to preface that by saying there is a need for good video in a portable form factor. I'm not gonna haul around my massive cameras everywhere as I haul around my massive camera. I'm not going to haul that around to the grocery store, right? And if I'm walking past the produce section and I see this beautiful mist over strawberries, you bet you I'm going to get the macro lens out and mess around with that and you get some beautiful shots.
And so it's going to be like, why are you touching the food?
I'm expecting for mold on my strawberries. That's
2
what
centimeters.
I'm doing.
2 centimeters.
2 centimeters.
I'm 2 centimeters away. You sound like Carl from Jimmy Neutron. The ProRes I'm really excited to try, and also with the cinematic mode, even though it's 1080 at 30, I'm bummed, but we've been talking a lot about how much gear I'm going to need to pack if we go on extended trips, because in the future we're talking about taking trips that are longer than a week or two. And in
You're
those
gonna
cases,
come see me?
You're gonna come see me too?
Just you two, no one else. That's all we're gonna look at. But
yeah, he's not going to
on
the
those
Philippines.
trips,
He's coming out here.
If I'm willing, you're right. If I'm willing to pack a Blackmagic camera with the CFast cards and the adapter for the CFast, versus if my phone is good enough that I could record a tech video off just that, and the quality's not god awful, that changes a lot. Like as a mobile camera, not just while I'm to the grocery store, but also to like I'm taking a trip somewhere. I'm going for a couple months. I'm going to be out of town, that kind of thing. For my line of work, having ProRes at 4K, or at least I'm just curious which one will look better. I'm not sure. Like 1080 at cinema mode, like how much bokeh will that add for just like a A-roll, you know, like standing to the camera and talking to it? Yeah. How does the audio sound? And if ProRes is coming to the iPhone, will I be able to edit this on my iPad?
Nope.
Will iPads get ProRes?
Nope.
No, you think it'll be just so if you back up a ProRes video to iCloud and you view it on the iPad, what
you
happens?
immediately have to get Apple One Premiere because you run out of instantly out of iCloud storage.
To
you think they should
question,
just exclude
Drew,
it? ProRes is not stored on iCloud.
To answer that question, Drew, you're gonna have to wait till next month when they do iPad Pro and MacBook Pro, and you'll see.
You mean iPad? No.
There's no new iPad Pros coming.
Don't listen to the leakers, Drew. Don't listen to the leaks, Drew.
You think they'll release 2 in a year?
No, I don't think so. I'm waiting for MacBooks.
Remember my stance? I don't care if they do. I just don't. I don't care because selfishly I'm getting what I want in this event. So at this point, with the exception of MacBook.
I'm just worried because I wanted this to be my last iPhone for a while. I'm annoyed that
here it is.
I'm not.
Here it comes, folks.
There it is, guys.
Jay, start the screen recording.
I'll just tell you what I'm worried about. Not what I'm doing. I'm worried
your promotion,
that
Drew.
the R1T is going to roll off the production line.
What if cinematic mode is good, but it's limited to 1080/30, and then next year it's 4K at 60?
You're always going to have a reason, aren't you, Drew? You're always going to have a reason every year. Promotion. It's not enough. I want more.
It's like if people were looking for features all year, I've been saying I don't know what they could do after 120 hertz. I found it. I found
ProRes at 120 frames per
Apple
second.
introduced new problems.
Yeah. I don't care if it's a camera hole. I don't care if it's notchless. I'll throw that off the table. Even if it was a notchless, I don't care. USB-C, portless, don't care. Periscope lens with a 10x zoom, don't care. 240 hertz, don't care. I don't notice the difference. The one thing that might captivate my attention is if cinematic mode is now available at high frame rate, high resolution, because it sounds like it's going to look really good this year. But my answer may change after I test it. If I test it out and I'm like, it's kind of gimmicky, it's not very good, it's still a phone sensor, then I'll just be like, okay, I guess I'm taking my camera on trips and stuff. But
my, oh my, how the turntables.
I haven't decided yet. Don't hold me to this.
All right. We won't hold you to it, but we want to slap you.
This is a feature that might tempt me. That's what I'm worried about. Out of all features, I'm not worried like, oh, what if I buy the 13 Pro Max and then they remove the notch next year? I don't care. Notch looks great. They made it taller, actually.
They did.
You guys notice that?
It went beep.
This is what you asked for, ladies and gentlemen. Now you got a taller notch.
Now you got a taller notch. Now it's looking like Pixel 2.
Pixel 3.
Don't remind me of this
XL.
device. Yeah, Pixel 3 XL. Oof.
Mater teeth on the notch.
Hold up.
Mater teeth.
Okay.
He did one his cup.
It is uncanny how good of a mater you can pull, Randy. That is uncanny.
Who can't he pull?
Wait, what?
Moving on. I don't think there's anyone Randy can't pull. Randy is such a talented voice actor. He could pull Randy. Randy could pull a Randy doing a Joker impersonation.
See, he'll have a Cybertruck. He can pull anything.
I can't pull me because I have I have an identity crisis, which is why I'm so good at impersonating everybody else, because I don't know who Randy is.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Well, we'll refer you to our company psychiatrist there.
Okay, thanks.
Where's it going? Oh, yeah, batteries. Hey, this is the reason. So Randy's excited about the video mode. Drew also sounds excited about the video mode. Also 120 hertz. He hasn't mentioned that, but I'll just throw that in there. 120 hertz. I was very happy for him when they said that.
Look at him.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't care.
No always on, which I thought was interesting. But anyway, I was most excited about the battery.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that's true.
Hey.
Huh.
Good job, Nick.
Thank you.
You're right.
The leakers.
I forgot about that.
Screw them.
They totally could have. This is evident of Apple being fundamentally against always on display, because they have the tech to do it now.
Good.
Yeah.
good. It's good. Yeah, when I did that video, I was like, I don't care about this feature, but I wouldn't mind it if it was on there because I could just turn it off. Now it's on.
I would turn it off too.
Just turn it off. I don't care if it's there. I'll just turn it off.
It's good.
Now it's
that's one
permanently
less
off.
switch I have to flip. Thank you, Apple.
Yeah, exactly.
Make my decision
I
simple.
don't. Not something I needed or care. If that's what you were hoping for, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But then you are let down.
So
I thought Nick was going to be like, I'm not sorry.
I'm always sorry. Hey,
suck.
so I got a question for you guys. Remember how I said if the I think like in July 9th, I believe, was the day we recorded this episode. You can go back and fact check me. But I said if the iPhone 13 or at the time 12s Pro Max had better battery life, I would get it without a question. Do you guys remember that conversation?
I do.
Yeah.
And that cutoff for me was 24 hours of like advertised usage. So now I have a dilemma.
Of what usage?
I think we had said advertised usage, just like whatever they were throwing up there on the screen is like, here's...
They threw up a lot, though.
I know, and they're never consistent about it, and they never actually tell you how many milliamp hours it is or how long it actually lasts, so it's kind of silly. But I remember saying, because I believe the 12 Pro Max was 22 hours of advertised screen on time. The 13 Pro Max is 28 hours of advertised screen on time.
Correct.
Also, the 13 Pro, which is smaller and probably going to be more comfortable and a little bit cheaper, it has 22 hours. Do I sacrifice the 5 hours of extra time in pursuit of a little bit of cost savings and potentially a little bit more pocketability and reachability?
Nice, Drew. Nice.
Or because literally
Nick,
that's the only difference. That's the only difference between the 13 Pro and the 13 Pro Max. Screen size and battery life. And that's how I like my Pro Max Pro decisions to be. I don't like it when they give the Pro Max a special feature, but like those are literally the only differences. And so it means that I could if I could get by with the screen and I can get by with the battery, I could get a smaller one. And on my 12 mini, it's a little small for my taste, so I wouldn't mind a slightly larger one, but maybe the Max is too big. What do you guys think about that? Help me decide.
I talked you out of the 12 Pro last year, and I'm going to talk you out of the 13 Pro this year. It's
I need to
poetry.
leave.
It's like poetry.
It rhymes.
It's like, so we tried to go small last year.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't work.
No.
Where you're going with the kind of internet you're consuming and the type of work you're doing, you need every last drop of battery. I bet the 13 Pro Max won't be enough.
This is true.
I bet you'll still run in. I bet you're going to be out in the
pack.
field taking pictures of starships, and you're going to be like, yeah, I should probably get that like Anchor MagSafe pack because my 13 Pro Max keeps dying on me. This 28 hour, the best battery of any iPhone, still ain't cutting it because you have a curse. I think we should acknowledge that. The paranormal aspect as well. Your 12 mini dies.
I literally had to go
mysteriously
charge
quick.
it. I literally had to go charge it when we were talking about Apple Watch.
Yeah.
I was going to try to wait to go charge it until we were talking about iPhone, but it cut all the way down to like 20%.
The nick tax on all iPhone batteries.
It's because I yeet it into the carpet. That's why. All the battery juices, all the milliamp hours fall out the bottom every time I throw it into the
Just
floor.
by being Nick, the phone gets about 1/5 the battery it's supposed to have. Because my 12 mini's fine, but Nick will be like recording a podcast, and it's like, we started at 100, and now it's negative 39, which is kind of weird. I didn't know that was a thing. And there's no reason as to why it's so bad, but you have a terrible curse with battery life, so I say, if they say best battery life on an iPhone, that's yours.
Okay,
you
cool.
will not tolerate anything less, and you will probably still need a battery bank. Still.
Okay, good to know.
Make your case, Randy.
About why he should compromise and
And get a 13 Pro.
Because 13 Pro, you should get the 13 Pro because Nick, look at me. I want you to look.
All right, I'll look down at you. I'm looking at you now.
Because Nick, you and I both know no matter what, you are upgrading next year. So save your money.
What? Why is he upgrading next year?
Because Nick can't help himself. It's the same reason why
you're
upgrading. It's the same reason why I'm upgrading. We will find reasons.
I did a video last week about why.
Nobody cares about that video, Drew.
Actually, Drew, we'll put a pin in that video, but finish your thought, Randy.
my thought is quite simply, you should, because you will upgrade your phone next year, I would like for you to be able to recoup your costs however possible, and the price hike going to the 13 Pro Max, trying to get yourself ready for the next year, I just feel like that money is well spent elsewhere, whether you are in the market of a Mac or whether you want to offset the cost for your Mini now because you're already over budget there, whether you now got talked into getting Apple Watch. I would rather you have better use of your money, even if it's outside of Apple. If you, whatever it may be, you're a bachelor now. Your money is important in the sense that to make sure that you can continue working and doing your job and stuff like that. I don't think something. I trust you will not upgrade your watch. If you get the Series 7, I trust you will not upgrade for a long time unless next year we get some flat design and the reality distortion happens. I do believe you that you will hold on to it. I know you will hold on to your iPad for a long time. I know you will hold on to a Mac for a long time. But you cannot biologically hold on to an iPhone for longer than a year.
It's in my DNA.
It is.
The RNA is
And
replicating the parts of my DNA that say I cannot upgrade.
When you told me that your first Apple product was an iPad mini, I understood what that meant in the sense of the age gap, that this is how your brain has been trained to just upgrade every year. I upgrade because I want to, but I am also just as affected by it. You will have a reason. Drew is right. You will find a reason to need better storage anyway. And it's not going to be enough. You'll need a battery bank. You're going to need all this. So if you're going to get a battery bank, it doesn't matter if it's 2.5 hours or 4.5 hours or any of that. It doesn't matter. It's not going to be enough battery for you. And that's okay. Instead of looking at it as a bad thing, use this time to just offset some costs and say a dollar saved is a dollar earned. And I would rather you have that money spent elsewhere. It would be better for you beneficially, whether it's consumer tech or anything else. So you're going to upgrade. This is not the year where you're going to hold on to an iPhone.
You're right.
And I've been about this year. There's nothing great about this phone this year.
Yeah.
I like the hardware that's there, like the camera, but that means it's just going to roll over next year anyway. There's nothing about this phone that goes, oh my God, this is the year, guys. Get the new iPhone 13. It's like, hey, these things are cool. The colors suck. The themes suck. Everything about it sucks. So when something gets better,
mode.
You are going to upgrade to even better cinematic mode and astrology and macro and whatever else. You will upgrade. For a fact, you will upgrade next year. There's a high chance I'm going to upgrade next year.
Yeah.
Drew's going to upgrade next year because we can't
I would
help
also say there's
I'm not.
Well, thank God I'm not talking about you, Drew.
chance that Drew will upgrade this year.
But we can't help ourselves.
You just said Drew's gonna.
You will. You will. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. I'm tired of lying.
Oh my God. I hate this podcast.
We're not even halfway done, Drew. What do you mean?
I am tired of lying to my friends and to our audience. We can't help it. We will upgrade.
This.
Okay.
I'm trying to deny Randy's truth. Truth be told.
You can't. It is my truth, and you can't deny it.
Wow.
The cinematic mode screwed everything up. Jeez.
We will always have a reason.
You had to do it 1080 at 30.
Apple's marketing is the strongest drug we have ever tasted.
Those goddamn geniuses.
Yep, they know what they're doing.
That's what happened to the Genius bars. During COVID, they took all the geniuses to Apple Park, and they've been trying to figure out how to get us to buy the same phone every year. Jeez, they're so smart. So, Drew, you mentioned that video that you did about a week ago about the iPhone upgrade prices, and I literally had a coworker today ask me if he should upgrade his phone this year. And he had an 11 Pro Max, and
me too.
He was unironically, I mean, he knows I do tech podcasting, so I think that's why he asked, but it wasn't like, whatever. He just was a normal guy asking some guy what he should do. And so I was like, well.
It was Elon, wasn't it?
It was not Elon, I'm sorry.
It was Elon. His coworker's Elon.
It was not Elon. It was not Elon.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Audio listeners are like, what?
Anyway,
They listen to it like this, like a phone.
Yes, that's all audio listeners.
You don't even know phones like
Why? Okay. Also, tangent on our tangent.
You're gonna listen
why
to the
is why
podcast.
is this? I was like, why is this a symbol for our phones now? Like, this should be the symbol for phones
it
now.
shouldn't be.
Like, we don't
Well,
we
look
don't
at-
use
look at
the
the
old
phone app.
cordless phone, right? It's like this.
Look
should
at the
be
phone app.
Anyway,
phone app.
this guy asked me if he should upgrade, and I basically said it depends on if you can stand up to a $2 trillion company's marketing budget, and if you plan on upgrading in the next 5 years. And then I sent him your video.
It doesn't depend.
And he
You
said
need a
that
yes/no answer.
yeah, he said that after he watched your video, he thought it was a good video, and he decided to upgrade. So he will be upgrading.
All right.
You're welcome, Tim. I'm selling iPhones for you, and you're blocking my streams. Come on. I just sold Nick an Apple Watch. I told him to spend more money on his iPhone.
You sold Elon on a new iPhone. So I mean, not Elon, on a new iPhone.
Yeah. Reeves.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
I'm glad the video was helpful because I think people should put
Yeah.
into perspective
And-
how much upgrading every year
And
costs.
honestly, that made a
Yeah.
lot of sense to me too, because as we continue down this road of incremental upgrades, and Apple trying their best and spending millions of dollars making them look as exciting as possible, I think it's good to know, just objectively speaking, I'm probably not going to keep this next phone for 5 years.
You will not.
I'm not Drew. I'm sorry. What was the phone 5 years ago?
Drew's
was
not
that
Drew. He's
like
not
iPhone
keeping his
7?
phone for 5 years.
Like, yeah, Drew's broken at the moment, everybody. Sorry, it's just
Drew's
a beta.
not
It's a
Drew.
random bug. He'll be back later. But I'm not going to be using an iPhone 7 in 2021, so I'm not going to be using an iPhone 13 in 2026. So why would I want to kind of put myself in the position where I wouldn't be upgrading every year? Because it does make a lot of sense. If you sell your device, at the right time and you buy the new one, you're only out a couple $100 at the end of the year, because iPhones do maintain their resale value. And that's one of the reasons why I can't upgrade my Apple Watch. I literally cannot justify a multi-$100 Apple Watch purchase when I know that the next year it's just going to be worth a couple $100. And anyway, I'm ranting. Sorry. Thank you for doing that video, Drew,
buy
because I
what
could just send
you
it to him
are-
instead of telling him about it.
Drew, I mean not Drew, sorry, Nick, buy what you are comfortable spending on, regardless of resale value. You should not be making
Oh,
a
okay.
purchase-
So I'll get the gold one with rhinestones and diamonds and.
You should not be buying
You should
something.
buy what you're not comfortable with.
Okay. So really do buy the gold one with the rhinestones. Got it.
Whatever you're comfortable spending,
Don't
do a
get
little
that
more.
one.
Literally, that's what Apple does. I walked into this event like, okay, if they have an iPad mini, I'll spend like $500 on it. $702 later. Oy. Apple.
Silly boy.
Silly boy.
This is what success does to people.
Yeah.
What?
This is what happens.
Apple,
Look,
stop being so
I've
successful.
been saying all year I'm going to keep this phone for a long time,
It's not happening.
and as we all know, I've never been wrong, and I've
Actually,
never
this is
changed
true.
my mind.
This is true. Ever.
just like most of these leakers that I'm trying to keep up with. I've never been incorrect. So
So,
if that's the case, I cannot upgrade.
Hmm.
I hope
Well-
cinematic mode sucks. If it sucks, I won't feel the need to upgrade.
Well, when Randy and I both have
That's
our
terrible.
iPhone 15 Pro Maxes with our 4K at 60 cinematic mode videos, we'll be rubbing those in your faces all the time. Don't worry about it.
yeah,
Drew,
Yeah, you
if
will.
you hold on to your phone longer than a year, you are going to be kicking and screaming every day, dragging through that year.
mm-hmm. Correct. Very true.
I think our bias and our willful blindness will always find a justification as to why, nope, I have to get this one. But this is it because it's the drug. The drug is too strong. I accept it.
It is a drug.
I own it. I accept it. I am symbiotic with it now. It's venom. I am what's his name? Eddie whatever and
Brock.
Brock and
I
Venom
don't know why I know that.
because it's a great movie. both versions, even the Tobey Maguire. So, but yes, now that we have become one with
Still got the moves.
Hey, listen, every Marvel villain became okay with their powers once they've accepted it. Green Goblin, do you know how much I've sacrificed? That's what we're here. This is what we're doing. So, yeah.
Which are now all canon, by the way, to the
which
MCU.
are now all
Oh, we're talking about movies. I was really confused there.
yeah.
Wait, which podcast are we recording?
I don't know. I think this is still
This
text.
is
Doesn't
EV,
matter.
right?
It's all. It's
Okay.
It's all. It is all.
I'm worried about the Cybertruck. Bingo!
Bingo!
Someone hit it.
I got
Oh,
it.
we didn't do that. We didn't do that, huh? Dang it. Oh, well.
No, we can't do it. They got to do it.
I can't
Yeah.
even.
We have to say it.
Yeah. Oh, sexually innuendo Craig joke here, even though he wasn't here today. We didn't.
I
see him.
know.
Yeah, where was Craig?
That was the reason why I gave this
Randy.
one a 4 out of 10. No Craig sexual.
Say something offensive, quick. Don't do that.
Okay.
Um,
I'm no longer Craig Central. He broke my heart. He wasn't in attendance today.
oh,
Good morning.
I miss Craig.
We're going to see him all
Good
next
morning.
month. I think we're going to see him all.
Hey, he said good morning.
He did say good morning.
He did.
Out
he did.
of all the online keynotes we've had, this is probably my second favorite.
Oh, I highly. No.
There was a lot less 5G.
No.
There was a lot less 5G. The M1 event was
What's your first favorite?
short. Dub 2020.
You did
Yeah,
tell me
that was probably my favorite. Let me
What's
tell you
your
why you're
second,
wrong.
Nick?
Let me tell you why you're wrong, Drew.
No,
Go ahead.
Craig.
The
That's it.
the reason why the transitions really worked in Dub of 2020 was because they anchored the place. You went from one location to the next without really any obvious cuts. You know, it went from out to the stairs, through the door.
I knew Nick would remember something like this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm the weirdo here. Don't worry, guys. You guys are normal. I'm the
You're
weird one.
talking production value.
I am
I'm
talking
talking
production value, and the fact that they just had like all of these kind of like the one we're using for the intro here is like they're in Apple Park. They zoom up and they go past the lights, and one of the lights becomes the sun, and then you're suddenly in San Diego, and you're going over the Coronado Bridge, and you go into this theater thing outside, and you're just like, where the heck am I? Like, I'm glad we went by the Coronado Bridge, and I know what the San Diegan skyline looks like because now I know where I am. But a few of those locations, I had no idea where we were. Like, especially the ones inside of that wharf, whatever, in San Francisco. Like, is that a museum or something?
California streaming.
What? Why
It's
did
California.
Okay, I don't mind them being in different locations. I would just
Where
prefer
you were born.
more transition. I would
Hey,
prefer
yeah,
more.
they did. Hey, Nick, they did go to La Jolla, and you were born there. So
They did go to La Jolla, so there's that. But what they should have done is they should have zoomed out
I wasn't paying
to the
attention
map
to
and then
that
gone
at
back
all.
down. Okay, fine.
I
It's
was
just
too
me who
busy
didn't
trying to
like
look
it.
at-
Evidently, it was a perfect
Okay.
event. Nobody was
Listen,
sad. Craig was
the whole
there. Everyone was
time
happy.
I
The
was-
It
Series
wasn't
7 had flat
perfect.
edges. We're good.
The whole time I
There
was
wasn't-
eyeballing Jeff's wrist when he was about to talk about Apple Watch, and I'm like, come on, that looks squared off. That looks a bit round. I don't know if he's wearing the new Apple Watch. I just can't tell. And all of a sudden I look at Jeff and I go, the COO, and I go, man, I really like his jacket.
Literally.
And
Oh,
the whole
the
time.
mountain biking thing.
The mountain biking thing. He just.
I was like, I'd use that.
The whole Fitness Plus portion of it, I'm going to be honest with you, Drew, because Nick knows this. He was there. I did not even pay attention.
We literally started a side
Oh, yeah.
conversation. We all lowered the volume.
Anyone,
Something.
all of us did it.
Mhm.
Everyone who watched the live stream with me know I completely tuned out and just started answering questions in the
Yeah.
chat. We were like, Fitness Plus? All right. So, everyone, how's it? What do you think so far?
Apple TV Plus or Fitness Plus. I was jacking my jaw off. I did not care.
And I think they know that. They know no one cares. That's why they stuffed it in the middle of this exciting hardware event.
Stupid ad break.
Now I can go to the
Stupid
They're a
sponsorship.
literal. I don't like there being so many ads in my ads.
Dude, your sponsorships. You self-promoting son of a gun.
That's like 16 walls.
Can we get rid of the ads in our keynote that is just advertising?
It's not bad enough.
Non-stop?
You can't just. You always give me a banner on my iPhone. Now I gotta look at my events too. Stupid ads.
I may be inconsistent with my iPhone upgrades, but I'm not inconsistent with my lack of TV Plus subscription.
This tickles me.
I really wish I could say the same. And unfortunately, I subscribe to Apple Fitness Plus. Never once used it, not even the free trial. Dumb Apple Premiere. The only way you can get Apple One Plus Pro Premiere. Yeah, that was the one thing I wanted them to fix. Just more storage options. I saw that at Google thing. I'm not doing it. Stop texting me about it. Okay. Everyone has been texting about me. There's a 5 terabyte option on Google Drive.
I love how I didn't even say anything. I was like,
yeah, I got it, guys. Stop telling me I'm not switching to Google. I want my stuff in Apple servers, not on Google servers. Which, yeah, I know the servers are in the same building, likely running right next to each other, probably having on the same hard drives, but I don't want it because I'm an Apple sheep, not a Google sheep. Stop texting me about it.
Nick just responded to like my next 3 counter arguments in one rant.
Thank you.
He anticipated every point.
Because I've had this conversation with like 6 people already.
It's like, Nick, iCloud is the same servers. Oh well,
yeah,
you got it.
You're
done.
I'm done.
Apple One.
We're trying to speed this up so we can get through post-production.
Right. Yeah, this was a shorter episode than usual.
Yeah,
Sorry about that, guys. It's just there
enough.
wasn't enough to talk about.
Wasn't much information to go off of, but
we got lots of leaks.
Closing thoughts. Any exciting leaks you guys?
Actually, I do. There's a guy named Jeff who is leaking some pretty cool information about a new Apple Watch. He was saying it was going to be rounded. He said it would be coming this fall. He had some pretty good renders to go with it, so I think he's fairly credible. He had a slick jacket, though, so we have to listen to him.
Nicholas, I have a question for you. Here's my closing thought.
Yes, sir, Mr. Randy.
Did Drew change your mind? Are you more leaning into Series 7 now? Series 7 watch?
Thankfully, I don't have to make that decision anytime soon. And honestly, It will probably depend on how irresponsible I want to be financially. Like, the financially responsible thing is to just keep using my Series 4, which I'm completely content with.
To be fair,
So,
I haven't made up my mind with iPhone yet either. I'm in this weird pickle.
Me too. Yeah. This was like the first September event that I didn't walk away from it, like, pumped and jazzed to buy a lot of things. Like, I literally only pumped about the iPad mini right now. I'm only getting the phone because my 12 mini is not working for me.
I was pumped.
You were? Okay. Well, I'm sorry for your soul.
Yeah, I thought the 12 was much more disappointing. There was no 120 hertz.
The 12 was square. The 12 was square.
There was nonstop 5G rambling for 90 minutes.
This is
there
true.
wasn't that this time.
This is true.
You have a point.
I think there was less crap in this one. A little crap.
Yeah.
It was minimal. I was in love with it. I had a blast. It was a nonstop thrill ride from getting blocked to 120 hertz to 1 terabyte. There was so much. Big Truck Series review was excited for it.
Big Truck Series review.
I'm rooting for him, and now he's happy. So, Drew, are you sold? My lingering question for you is: are you sold on a iPad Mini, or is it because specifically no promotion? That's the deal breaker. All right.
Yeah, that is a deal breaker. Oh, I'll go on the record and say if the 13 Mini had promotion, I'd buy that.
So if the 13S Mini had promotion, do you break the rule? No.
I'll already have it. Okay. I'll have it by that point, so it's already over. But hopefully I don't get this new phone and go, oh my God, it's so heavy. This is the heaviest iPhone. Did you know that?
No, I haven't looked at that. Another reason for me just to get the Pro.
Oh no, it's a great perk, Nick. You
go.
want the weighted phone.
No, it's not. You
it's
don't
a
want
good thing.
You don't want to carry that around you while you're out there in the field, Nick. Get the Pro, not the Pro Max.
Well, we have we all have the lightest iPhone in like 7 years right now, so everything we get is gonna feel heavy.
This is true.
That's fair.
What is the weight? Oh, there it is. Oh my gosh. 240 grams.
Jeez.
Drew, I forgot I actually have a missing point that Nick brought up, and he's not wrong. 11
well,
Pro.
we've started our 30-minute closing argument, so we got time.
I forgot to mention this. 11 Pro, it is very possible that if the videography is trash still, because I said it has to be good. No advertising. If it works as intended, then this is omitted. But
yeah, the ads look great, but we shouldn't trust those, right?
Don't trust leakers. Don't trust ads. So if
don't trust Apple.
Don't trust Apple. Don't trust anything around Apple. Just trust your own intuition. If the
trust us.
Videography, just us. If the videography sucks, I am gonna go back to the 11 Pro.
Yeah, Okay.
Good.
Just so
That's
I can
good.
have
Good call.
content.
And you better get a green watch. That's what I'm saying.
That's
Yeah.
a given. That's a given. I'm gonna get the green watch, and
No debate on that.
no debate on that. I'm getting the green watch, and I'm gonna have continuity for the first time with rounded edges, with my 11. I don't.
Between your
mind.
watch, your
That's
phone,
bizarre
and your
how well
car,
that
we'll
worked.
have dark green rounded edges.
What'd you
That's
say, Drew?
true. The Model 3 is rounded.
Yeah, it is, and
yeah,
it's
like,
green.
it's amazing how continuity focused the 11 Pro, which has been gone for a while now, is going to fit with the Series 7, which is not out yet, and yet they go together perfectly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the iPhone 5C and the MagSafe pack.
Oh,
They
yeah,
look
yeah.
very similar. And
Whoa!
they don't work at all.
Wow.
Oh, you're
Ooh.
right. Whoa, you're right.
Or the
Ew.
original Apple Watch and the original iPhone, they look very similar. They like overlap a bit.
Huh.
Cool.
Whoa, dude.
But yeah, you should do that. I agree.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, if it sucks altogether, I'm swearing off Mini and I'm just going back to 11 Pro because it's now I'm going against that muscle of saying that I need to upgrade every year just so I can. I'm still fighting that thing we were talking about the drug and all that. I'm trying so hard to fight against that right now. So we'll see. But if it's good, then I know what I want. Just like, promotion is for you. I know what I'm looking for the camera, and if it's as what it's
I'm an
promised.
addict.
Yeah. I am too. I'm definitely
I think
an
if you
addict
made
for
it
the ads,
to
so-
the almost 2-hour mark on an Apple Sheep ranting podcast, you are also an addict, dear listener. Congratulations.
My
Welcome to
God.
the support group.
Why are you guys still here?
I
Go
know.
home.
And
The
we should
movie's
keep
over.
talking for about another minute.
Go.
That way we can fill this up to the 2-hour mark. Yeah.
Well, I should probably go tell my wife while our bank account is drained. So,
Just tell her that someone stole the credit card.
someone stole it. Why are we getting all these Apple order processing emails?
Because they have good taste
I
in
don't
what
know.
they
That's
steal.
weird.
I think he stole
Just
the credit
ignore
card
that.
and then bought a bunch of Apple products for me. Really
Let's
generous
just take
thief.
delivery. Yeah.
We can track him down that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great week.
Have a great one.
Take care.
Love you all.
Bye.
I don't love you. I like you a lot. Bye.
I love you.